Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a new day, new month, new challenges, new interventions. Life has to move on. Let's keep going. On behalf of the Department of Social Work, Madras Christian College, we welcome you all for this National Study Conference on Youth for Climate Action, conducted in collaboration with National Institute of Disaster Management, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. More specifically, we would like to welcome our dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, those who are joining online from Delhi. First of all, we welcome Sri Rajendra Ratno, the Executive Director, National Institute of Disaster Management, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. Good morning, sir, and we welcome you for this national level study conference. Secondly, I would like to welcome Sri Surya Prakash, Head GMR and CBRN Division, National Institute of Disaster Management, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. Good morning, sir, and we welcome you for this conference. Next, I would like to welcome Ms. Karishma Chowdhury, the young professional, Center for Coastal DRR, NIDM, Government of India. Now I invite Vinita from 2nd MSW to give a memento to Ms. Karishma Chowdhury. Thank you, Vinita. We thank the NIDM team profusely for giving this opportunity to collaborate with you, sir and madam. During the COVID times, we have organized a national level webinar along with National Institute of Disaster Management. And also there was another conference where we have collaborated with NIDM, where resource persons from NIDM have come. So we cherish our relationship with National Institute of Disaster Management with fond memories. Thank you, NIDM team, for the faith you have in the Department of Social Work, Madras Christian College to organize such academic endeavors for national building. I am sure this symbiotic relationship will continue in future. Now, I am extremely happy to welcome Mrs. Sujata Jacob, the Director for State Institute of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj, Government of Tamil Nadu. Ma'am, we are extremely happy to have you with us on this national conference. We also cherish our relationship with the SIRD in various levels by providing internship for our students and our department doing consultancy with SIRD. I am sure your presence in this conference will make a lot of avenues for our students and for the department. Thank you very much for being with us today. Now I invite Mr. Bill Kurivula from 2nd MSW to give the memento. Thank you, Mr. Bill. I welcome our Principal and Secretary, Dr. Wilson, in his absence here. Due to his earlier commitment with an important assignment, he is not able to be with us today in this morning. However, thank you so much, sir, for your support and guidance in the Department of Social Work and its activities. We also welcome the Lions Club International members, Lion 80 Ravichandran and Lion Marianathan, for your support in this conference. I am delighted to invite my own Seva office bearers, the student leaders on stage, Ms. Jessie Gloria and Josen, for being with us today, and this youth-led conference. And I'm so happy that you are there on a stage and you are going to steer this conference for the next 3 days with your leadership qualities, and I'm sure that all the participants, you will enjoy how this Department of Social Work led by the youth is an example for organizing these conferences, and it's their hard work. We are happy to work with you. Even we feel young when we are working with you. You challenge us and you direct us and you guide us in many, many ways. God bless you. I'll also like to invite the government officials from the Department of Environment, Government of Tamil Nadu, the Department of Envis for providing us the materials for the exhibition. Thank you, the government officials from the Department of Environment, Tamil Nadu. I would like to welcome the faculty members, resource persons, NGO representatives, research scholars, students, participants, and other dignitaries from across the country for this national level study conference. I also welcome my own colleagues and especially Professor Nainan John, the founder of the Department of Social Work, my dear students for this 3-day national level study conference. Disasters are inevitable but preventable. Social work largely emphasizes on strength-based approach. I am sure the deliberations in this conference will strengthen us, will give us new insights and interventions so that we will face the challenges of disaster with hope and strength. Thank you.
I invite Dr. Prince Solomon, the conference coordinator, to unravel the rationale of this conference.
I hope you have come here with a purpose, and each student who is sitting here, each faculty members, scholars, practitioners who are here, I'm sure that you have a great expectation of what is going to be unpacked in the next 3 days as we come, sit, listen, deliberate, and discuss on the most important issue on climate change and climate action. This conference is a student-run conference and run for students, scholars, faculty members, and practitioners. I don't know you had time to just look around the hall. We have purposely mentioned all the conferences that we have had before. That is just to remind you that we are not talking about environment or environmental justice only now, but I think it is right from the inception. As early as 1992, soon after the department was inaugurated in 1989, several conferences, if you run through the hall with the posters that we have hung, you will know that environment always played a very, very important role, especially when we deliberated issues of concern. The second part that I would like to give before I give the rationale is the response to disasters. I think it's important that social work institutions don't just talk about response. I think we also need to be in action. When the Bhuj earthquake was hit, we were one of a few social work institutes who sent our students all the way up to Bhuj, and then they were responding to this disaster situation as early as in the early 2000s or in the 90s. Then the super cyclone in 1999, 2004 tsunami. We literally shut down our department for 2 months, and all our department students were together in the seashore, and we were there responding to the rehabilitation of the fishermen folk during the time in 2005, early 2005. Then the 2015 floods, 2016 Varda, then the Kerala floods. All these were responses that we made immediately within the 10 days. Once the relief period was over, we were there as a rehab team, and we thought that is right for us to do because we as social workers, we need to respond, not just talk in the classroom. So that gave the real impetus for us to come out with a theme, Youth for Climate Action. We all know Youth for Climate Action is not a theme that we decided this year. As in the past, our tradition is that we announce the theme for the next year's conference in the previous year. That is in 2023, when we had the conference in September, we announced it is Youth for Climate Action. And then we all know the things that has happened even this morning. I don't know how many of you had the time to browse through the headlines of the newspaper today. Our neighboring state is going through a disaster. Just in 24 hours, 37 centimeters of water in Telangana and in Andhra Pradesh. And there is a disaster and people are facing it. Now, with this in the background, we have come out with a theme, Youth for Climate Action. I'm just going to read what we have sent to you because I know sometimes materials are given, but not necessarily it is read. So I thought it will be good. This material is already there with you. I thought I will remind you with why we have chosen this theme. Why Youth for Climate Action? Young people are passionate, innovative, and possess fresh perspectives. This conference connects youth across the country, fostering a sense of community and allowing them to share best practices and build a national movement. As climate change can feel overwhelming, the conference equips youth with the knowledge and skills to take action and feel like they can make a difference. This conference unlocks their potential to become powerful change makers. We do not want you to just attend this conference and take the participant certificate, but we want you to make a commitment on the third day. We want you to make a commitment, and with that commitment, we'll go back to our institutions, especially the social work institutions, to go and make a change. So it unlocks the potentials to become powerful change makers, empowering young people today. We invest in a generation of leaders committed to build a more sustainable future. This conference is not just about raising awareness. I'm repeating it. This conference is not just about raising awareness. It's about creating a space where young people can become active agents of change. You need to be the change that you want to see it around. And be the voices to the greater community around and to shape the future and the generations that is going to come ahead. So with this note, I would like to tell you that this conference is not just about awareness. I think it's beyond that. We want you to be actively participating. We want you to raise questions after every sessions when a space is given for you to raise questions. And we want you to make it a two-way discussion mode that will help every one of us to make this conference a success. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, sir. It's a great pleasure to welcome Ms. Sujata Jacob, Director, State Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, to deliver opening remarks. Ms. Sujata Jacob brings with her a wealth of experience and expertise in rural development, community engagement, and governance. Her leadership and vision have been instrumental in shaping initiatives that empower rural communities and promote sustainable development and environmental conservation. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Ms. Sujata Jacob. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Good morning, one and all who are present in this hall. It gives me real joy to see such cheerful young students and all dignitaries. it brings to mind my college days when we were here organizing things. But God has given me an opportunity to stand here and share with you some of the things which we are doing in the government sector. So God has given me an opportunity to work in the government where we coordinate everybody. So this opportunity, I take this opportunity to thank the Social Welfare Department staff who invited me for this program. So when we talk about climate action or climate change, it's part of the Sustainable Development Goals. So you know what Sustainable Development Goals is. It was conceived in 2012 and it came into practice in 2015. So it was an overall holistic development. So there was the Millennium Development Goals which aimed at health, eradicating polio, eradicating all diseases, right? But this was a holistic one which conceived in almost every development. So change in one area will definitely affect the change in all other areas. So we have to have a balance. And only when we have a balance, the growth and development will be total, right? So this development goals, which were 57% in 2018, has achieved 71%. The overall development of India has increased from 57% in 2018 to about 71% in 2023-24. So just because there were intervention in all areas, a holistic development we were able to see. So I think most of you all know there are about 17 goals. The first one is no poverty, which means eradicating poverty. So only when the stomach is full, only when they have food for them, they can think about all the others. So most of you all must have studied psychology also. So when does you think about the other one? So only when your stomach is full, only when you're satisfied with the basic needs. So the second one is zero hunger. So when we say no poverty, you have work, you have money to have food. So the second one is zero poverty. That is to ensure there is no hunger. So we have many schemes like the PDS system, the public distribution system, which provides food for the people. And then we have the good health and well-being. So you know, many schemes are being implemented by the health department. So in government, each department implements a certain program. So good health and well-being is done by the medical department, where they give immunization. We have achieved 100% immunization, and we also give preventive thing and also for health. Then the next one is quality education. So quality education means inclusive education for all, for the rich, the poor, so it's an inclusive education. And then the next one is gender equality. So gender equality, as you know, we have not achieved much of gender equality. So it was 36% in 1918 and 2018, now it is only 49%. So gender equality. So you will be wondering, so it is a climate action forum then why was Madam speaking of all these things? So as I said, only when there is action in all part of it, there will be an inclusive growth or inclusive development. The next one is the clean water and sanitation. So we are striving. So there are many schemes which we are implementing, the government of Tamil Nadu, to achieve clean drinking water for all. So people in Chennai might have faced drinking water scarcity, but people in rural areas were facing. But now we have many schemes like the Jal Jeevan Mission, which gives tap water connection to the household. And then the next one is the affordable clean energy. So what do we mean by clean energy? So the electricity which we have may not be very clean energy because we use coal, which in turn pollutes the environment, right? So the youth can play a major role. So we can change our energy from the traditional conventional energy to clean and green energy, like using of solar energy. So we have a lot of potential in Tamil Nadu, especially in India as a whole, we have lots of potentiality. But in Chennai also in Tamil Nadu we have a great potentiality so we have to go in for changes to give clean and green energy. And the next one is decent work and economic work. So are we able to give decent work for all people? Yes. The initiative of government, the MGNREGS, which provides daily work for household, right? And they are paid. Then we have the industries and innovation. So which means building big industries which can run on green energy. So now we are trying in bringing the implementation of green energy for industries also, right? And then we have the reduced inequality. And then, people from rural area migrate to cities. So it's a migration which creates big cities. And then we have to provide, so you see many of them, we have lots of slums in Chennai also. So this is it's not a good congenial environment for our people to stay. So the next goal is to create sustainable cities and countries where we do solid waste management, liquid waste management. So I don't know how many of you all at home are doing the segregation of waste. So it is part of the climate change. When we segregate, our water bodies will not be polluted. Our environment will not be polluted. So this is an initiative along with the climate, which is very essential for climate change. Then the next one is responsible consumption and production. So which means the medical waste, hazardous waste has to be disposed properly. So this is also an important goal. So climate change is affected by all these factors. So now the 13th goal is the climate action. So that is the theme of your conference now for the 3 days. So this has been achieved, increased from 54% to 67%. So it was 54% in 2018 and now it is 67%. So our goal and our aim is to increase and to achieve a 100%, good environment for the youth. So this could be done only by the youth. So this is the only generation we are seeing climate disasters and disasters in the environment, and this is the only generation who can work for this, for the protection of the environment. So we will be deliberating various themes of climate action, how youth can be involved. So I will not go into all those details because you have 3 full days for debating on all those things, right? Then the next one is life below water. So life below water is the sea, the ocean which we have. So as I said, when there is no segregation of waste, when the water bodies are polluted, again, it affects it's a vicious circle. So one affecting the other. Similarly, life on land. So when we cut trees, so this campus is a sprawling campus with beautiful greenery which has to be protected. So which I think the management is trying and protecting each bit of the land to preserve the ecosystem, right? So this is also part of it. So it is our duty to see that our environment is clean. It is not the housekeeping or the management, but each individual to keep our environment clean. Disposing of waste, though it is not punishable or those not, you're not imposed fine when you throw paper or chocolate wrapper. But it should come in your mind that each small bit of paper you drop on the earth is polluting your environment, and that creates alternation in the environment, right? And the last one is partnership for leadership and achievement of goals. So this partnership is done by various agencies, like for example in the National Disaster Management, WCC, College of Madras Christian College, and all other government departments. There is a integration for us to work towards that. So this goal has been localized in India. They call the localized sustainable development goal. This has been made into 9 components. So most of the area in Tamil Nadu is rural area, so it has been made into 9. So the basic unit of work is the village panchayat. So we aim at poverty-free village panchayat, healthy village panchayat, child-friendly panchayat, water-sufficient village panchayat, clean and green village panchayat, self-sufficient panchayat with infrastructure, socially secured village panchayats, good governance, and women-friendly panchayat. So you'll be wondering how can we assess all these things, right? So we have a parameter, we have a goal. So the index is when it is an economically empowered panchayat, the theme for that is enhancing the livelihood of villagers. How do we enhance the livelihood of the villagers? So deepening it is through the MGNREGA scheme implemented by the government, where the ponds and villages are desalinated, or it is being deepened and So this in turn affects the climate action, right? Climate change. The second one, health. So we have the healthy villages where all the schemes implemented in the government is given to the village, like maternal mortality, immunization, and various programs given by the government, right? And water sufficient village. How do we achieve water sufficient village? So we have the Jal Jeevan mission, which provides individual household or tap to the households. So thereby we have clean drinking water for the people. And environment, which is the clean and green village, which will come in your climate action. So that is also, and the next one is the village with infrastructure. So you know, you go to villages now, you see all the roads, bridges, everything are being given by the government of Tamil Nadu. So we have the social justice and equality, and we have good governance. So in Tamil Nadu, one particular panchayat has been awarded Good Panchayat Award, which is Pichanur in Coimbatore district. That village panchayat, the president has worked very well. That panchayat has been given a national award on self-governance. So these are some of the sustainable development goals. So how do you measure that? We have a panchayat development index to see how village panchayat fare, how they have achieved. So we have graded. We do not say poor, very poor or good, but we say beginners, aspirants, performers, front runners and achievers. So this is the grading which we have given for the panchayat. So the beginners are those who are graded below 40, right? And the aspirants are between 40 and 60. Then we have the performers who are from 60 to 75. And front runners are from 75 to 90 and achievers. So our aim is to achieve, right? Achieve 100% of whatever goal has been set. So how can this be done? Can government alone do it? No. Can individuals, can institutions joined with all other institutions do it? It is possible only when youth like you join in this mission. So with the passion for bringing a climate change, bringing a good environment for our future generations. So this is appropriate for you to stay here for 3 days and learn various ways and implement it. Not just know and learn, but also implement it. So thank you for the opportunity given to me. Thank you.
Morning, friends. First and foremost, let me express my feelings of gratitude to MCC for bringing me here. I had been to this college many times. I enjoy the climate of nature, also human beings here. Always a good climate in MCC. Of course, the students also impressed me a lot. Okay, to contextualize the theme, climate change and well-being, I want to place before you few observations which I picked up from here. Yesterday we began this conference with the Thanksgiving service. Pastor gave the reflection. He gave the account of creation from the book of Genesis. I'm sure the scriptures of all the religion will talk about how the world was created, how we have the responsibility to preserve that creation. I remember a story. It seems a mother camel and the calf was taking a stroll, and the baby camel asked the mother camel, "Mummy, why do we have long, long legs?" Mother camel responded saying, "We are living in the desert place. We have to walk a lot for the water, so we have long, long legs." And then again, why do we have long, long necks? Yes, we are living in desert place. We need something to eat. We have to pick up the leaves from the trees. That's why we have long legs. Neck. And then, why do we have a hunch? You know, we need to store water in the desert place. So we need space to store the water. That is why we are given this gift of having a hunch. Then, calf asked the camel, mother camel, why are we in Mysore Zoo? I hope you understand. I hope you understand. We are created with a purpose. We are created with a purpose. We live our life for a purpose. When we experience that purpose, when our life is driven with the purpose, we experience a kind of sense of well-being. And climate change, the climate creates or gives a conducive atmosphere to live our purpose. This morning, a short film was presented. Towards the end, we heard a last statement. I wonder whether you remember. Yeah. Yes? We have only one planet. We have only one earth. Maybe the previous statement, we will never forgive. When you hear this words, it pains you. We will never forgive. Because forgiveness makes you feel light. You don't carry the burden. But the word, we will never forgive. Along with my students from Roshnalaya, about 10 years ago, we had gone for a field for data collection in the industrial area. They gave us permission. It was to assess the performance of the CSR project. You know, with a lot of pain, somebody came. See, if someone else was in your place to undertake a research in this project, we would have given you slap, they said. Afterwards, at the end of the day, after collecting the data, I understood why they wanted to give me a slap. We come for our work to this place with white shirt. We return home, it's black and brown because of the pollution in the air. We also assess the health status. Most of the women and children are suffering from some sort of skin allergy and respiratory issues because of. So what these industries are going to do now? We have lost our health. Also, lots of displacement also was taking place. So it was literally affecting their lives. So they were somewhat sounding, we will never forgive them. We will never forgive them. So this is how, friends, I want to contextualize this theme, climate change and well-being. So wellness, well-being, everything is the same, which talks about the condition of a group or an individual or a community. As social workers, you might have studied a lot about individuals, groups, and community. These are the primary methods of social work. Focus group, which we really focus when we work with the people. So, higher level of well-being means where I am more positive with my body, mind, and soul. I experience a positivity that is called well-being. Well-being also refers to the interconnected dimensions. It's not like just one component. It covers the aspect of physical, mental, social, also the spiritual life of a person, individual, group, or community. So it's closely related to happiness. How do I feel? Very many times when I give workshop, I give something called feel log. Right now, close your eyes and say, what do I feel? And why do I feel? In a day, when they write a feeling log, several times they will experience different kinds of feelings. At the end of the workshop, they will realize what is more dominant in them, whether they are positive or negative. So you get an idea about yourself, how is my well-being? And this well-being is very much connected with the climate. I remember once in a college auditorium, some of the students regularly who belong to different religion have an interesting conversation. It's more connected to social and spiritual life. Me, as Christian, Indo brethren, we had been talking about something about spirituality. One student from Iraq, was quite elder, also married. May I join the conversation? He said, yes, you come. Ah, you all are talking about God. I don't believe in God at all, he said. I don't believe in God at all. I am an atheist. Then he spoke about lot of social evils or the tragedies that comes across in human life. He had been talking. At the end he stated, but I believe in God when the flower blooms, when the seed breaks, when the tree grows, when I hear the chirpings of the birds, when I look at the animals, when I relate to get connected to human beings. Here where we have to contextualize this theme of well-being and the climate. Philosophical foundation. Stanford Encyclopedia talks about different theories. As I spoke, different dimensions of well-being. Aristippus, it talks about well-being means a goal of life where you experience maximum pleasure, realizing the human potential. In social work, very often we talk about tapping the potentials of the clients, building the resourcefulness of the client. So, realizing the human potential is the ultimate goal of experiencing well-being or wellness. Utilitarian philosophers talks about promote happiness and keep yourself away from sadness. So this is what this is the philosophical foundation for well-being. Theoretical foundation. Since I see a lot of students and the faculty members here, it's good to talk about theoretical foundation. Set point theory. It has got a strong genetic component, set point theory. Irrespective of the events, irrespective of the context, people may experience different kinds of feelings, but they come back to the same point. They come back to the same point. Their happiness level remains same. So that is what being spoken in set point theory. There may be waves in our emotions, but you come back to your own personality, own being. That is what is most stable. That is what called as set point theory. Next, self-discrepancy theory. Most of the time you might have heard about our ideal self and real self. All of us have a dream to go on, to move forward. You have your actual self, which as dream also struggles. So if the gap is more between the real self and my ideal self, if the gap is more, the struggle is more, the well-being can be affected. All of us have goals. We need to move towards that. But if you are moving, you are chasing your goals with anxiety. If you are chasing your goals with anxiety, you are putting your wellness at risk. We have a goal, move towards that more gracefully, be it in the family. Sometimes we struggle to bring about a balance between our family life and the work life. We keep on grumble. We can't help. We can't help. So make up your mind. Okay, these are the set goals. I move towards that more gracefully instead of chasing that with anxiety. So inevitable things, what I cannot change, let me accept. So this theory will talk about how we can reduce the gap between my actual self and the ideal self and lead a more peaceful life. When you practice this for a period of time, it becomes more part of your personality. Cognitive theory. Cognitive theory talks about we are not more disturbed by events. Events, whatever happens, supposing on my way to the college or on my way, I see an accident. It is an event. We are not affected by that, but the way I perceive, the way I accept, or the way I understand, that affects my way of thinking. So cognitive theory talks about the events do not accept me merely, but the way I take things into my life. And Descartes, you might have heard about the philosopher Descartes, he speaks, I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore I am. A German philosopher, Eckhart, says, no, you are not merely a thinking being. If I lose my mind, Do I lose my self-worth? What about other aspects of human life? But when you talk about cognitive theory, it more talks about emphasis on way of thinking, our perceptions, our views. On that, our expression, our understanding rest upon. And we also will come across in cognitive theories schema, which means I have lot of memories, I have lot of experiences. What happened? I stack the effect of my experiences one on the other, one on the other, one on the other on my mind. You create a schema. Okay, so it's a time, every time students and friends, my dear faculty members, let us see what are we stacking into our head. What are we stacking? Because it's very much connected. Later I would talk about how our cognitive aspect, our self is the way we look at life, the way we look at creation, the way we respect life, it's very much connected with the climate and the well-being. Next, need-goal theory. All of us have our own needs. There is a stress and tension. I have a need, I realize there is a need in me. I have to attain that need. Until I am gratified in my needs, there is a tension. When that tension is reduced, when the need is fulfilled. So, this need-goal theory talks about the tension that prevails between my wants, my needs, and its fulfillment. So, when there is more of fulfillment, the stress is reduced and you experience a sense of wellness. And the conflicts within us are solved. I don't know how many of us pay attention to the conflicts that we have, inner conflicts that we have. If you really pay attention to the thoughts, there are like thoughts. There may be clash in our thoughts. I want, I don't want. I can, I cannot. So contradicting thoughts. It plays a vital role in our, especially in our mental health. Next, process and activity theory. It is also called flow theory. I would look at this flow theory from two angles. There is a flow. Supposing I am coordinating an activity in a department. Each of us play a role. I take my role. When each of us fulfill our role well, when we give our best, the department is at its best because there is a good flow. But there is some other aspect they are talking about flow in psychological perspective. Whatever I do, enjoy. I am talking, let me enjoy and talk. I get immersed in that. There is a flow. I experience a sense of well-being. You are listening. I know when you are listening, 20% you are with me, 80% outside, or 80% you are with me, or 20% outside. It is there, but let us become aware. But if you have the grace and capacity to get immersed in what you are doing, you enjoy what you are doing, that is called flow theory. So flow theory contributes for our well-being, both in human person, also in the nature. Adaptation theory, our ability to adapt. Whenever we have conferences like this, we look at people coming from, especially from other countries. Did you sleep well? Did you eat well? Could you adjust with our food? Do you adjust with our climate? That is called adaptation. I adapt. Changes are there in life. Ups and downs are there in life. Be prepared to adapt. More of flexible personality. Be ready. Be ready to accept, adapt, irrespective of our own background. So that talks about adaptation theory. The more adaptive you are, the more flexible you are, people feel comfortable with you, you feel comfortable with others, so you are able to experience a kind of wellness. So this is an adaptation theory. I hope you are able to remember few theories at least. That will definitely help us to understand what is the intensity of my wellness, where I need to build up myself, where I need to pay attention. So it's nice to take a pause every day they say, every day, and see where I am, what is my wellness. PERMA model, this has been recommended by Seligman. It's a model of happiness. P stands for positive emotions. Positive emotion, more and more. Can you tell me some of the positive emotions, friends? Some of the positive emotions. Happiness. Smile is the expression, yeah. In peace, joy, cheerfulness. So nice, no? When you hear these words, you generate positive emotions. Can you spell some of the negative emotions? Sadness, anger, depression, anxiety. Tears is an expression, that's not an emotion. It's an expression, it's a reaction, it's a consequence. Yeah. So, Seligman says more and more cultivate your heart and mind with the positive emotions that makes you feel that I am well. And then engagement in the activities. Life is more important. Throughout our life, we learn. Be open for learning and to implement. So, engage yourself more into the positive activities. Relationships, it's very, very important. In fact, by nature, I was a very affectionate person. Valued relationship. Then I found myself, I became a workaholic. All the time work is in my mind. Sometimes the conflicts I would resolve middle of the night in deep sleep. You might have heard I had undertaken about 25 research projects. It started in PG from 50 samples. Now towards the end, it became 50,000 samples. You know, when the data is so complex and somewhere you get stuck, you go and sleep. In deep sleep, you get an answer. I became a workaholic. What happens? I don't realize I have so many nice people around me. I fail to recognize, I fail to appreciate. Then your relationship also knowingly, unknowingly getting strained. Now I'm realizing relationship, social connectedness that really matters to experience a sense of well-being. Meaning and purposeful life, which I already spoke. Accomplishment, always it's nice. Whenever you go to bed, friends, just recall to your mind 10 nice things that you have done today, day by day. Imagine, miracles will happen. Miracles will happen. Every day, 10 nice things that you remember and go to bed. The last thought of previous evening is the first thought next morning. Do you agree with me? You check. Last thought of your previous evening is